Hey everybody, what's good? What's going on? JB here, back with another CyberInsight live stream. We're in day 22 of the Advent of Cyber from TryHackMe, and I believe today is another one of their blue team rooms. So pretty excited to hop into this. I think we're going to be looking at using a tool that we've used in some of the previous rooms called CyberChef to go and try and decode and analyze some malicious content in some files. So definitely looking forward to that. And if you kind of a little bit unsure of how to use CyberChef before, then maybe this video will help you out just a little bit. So as always, before we hop in to the actual challenge, appreciate it if you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that other good stuff. Help me out in my fight against the brutal YouTube algorithms, all that good stuff. So, all right, let's move over. And if you have any questions as we kind of move through this, then you can go ahead and throw those in the chat as well, and we can kind of hit those up as we move through. So let's see what we have going on today. Let's see how it happened, day 22. So this room does have a VM that you need to spin up, so you might as well go ahead and hit that start machine, and it will spin up a Windows box. So let's see. Let it snow. McSkitty has finally gotten around to identifying the first trace of Grinch Enterprise within their network. They're looking at local machines to determine what exactly they did when they first entered the network. Can you help them make sense of what happened? So you've probably heard of the Cyber Swiss Army knife CyberChef. As I mentioned, we've kind of used that in some of the previous rooms. Specifically, I think what were we doing? Decoding base 64 data, I believe, or maybe it was hex, or it might have been both. This tool will help us uncover what Grinch Enterprises did when they first entered the network. All you need to be a good chef and follow the recipes. On the left-hand column, you can choose the ingredients or operations you want to bake the best cake for the Christmas party as shown in the image below. So pretty much what they're saying from this, and when we go and we open this up, we can go and do that. If we go on the desktop, click Tools, go into CyberChef, click this one here. It's going to give us a whole bunch of different options that we can choose to decode things from, data formats, which is pretty much what we're doing. Some algorithmic stuff, which I think we're going to cover that in a little bit as well. But you can pretty much stack these different recipes together. So if you have something that you're trying to decode and you have an idea, okay, it's in base 64, you can drag from base 64 over into the recipe section. The nice thing with this is it lets you know all what is included within base 64. So it's capital A through capital Z, lowercase a through Z, 0 through 9, and then the plus, the forward slash, and the equal sign. Those are all of the different characters that make up base 64. So we could put this into the recipe here, and we could put our base 64 data over here in the input, and it would then run it through this and output it into regular ASCII text. So it would be, we'd be able to read it. But let's say we were to do that and it didn't end up outputting as we would expect. If there's other things that we need to do, you can then go ahead and add additional operators or operations into the recipe and kind of cycle through it from a top-down perspective. So be interesting. I think we might end up doing something like that later in this challenge. So let's clear the recipe from there and move back into what they were talking about here. So to bake the perfect tasty cake, you need to have all the ingredients in the right order by dragging them to the middle column that says recipe. Pretty cool. So just to kind of give an example of what we got going on here, we're going to take this base 64 encoded string. I'm going to open up CyberChef again. And we're going to go from base 64. Oh, if I remember with these Windows boxes, we actually, can't copy and paste between these, can we? No, we can't. Okay. Not what we were looking for. Not the string we were looking for. Okay. Well, we'll just go off of the image that was here. So we would copy and paste that over into CyberChef, and it would automatically output the decoding of that string. And it would say Grinch Enterprises won't take over the North Pole. So base64 encoding schemes are commonly used when there is a need to encode binary data that needs to be stored and transferred over media that is designed to deal with ASCII. While attackers still use a simple form of obfuscation to evade antivirus detection, it's far from the most effective and stealthy technique because of the fact it can be so easily decoded. So to decode the same string as above, we would just select from that, instead of from base64, we could go to base64, and we could put in whatever text. The Grinch will not win, right? And then that's going to encode it in base64, and that would be the encoded stream. Let's see, can I zoom in a little bit? I don't know, let me see. We could probably do that. That might be a little bit better. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I can zoom in here too as well. There we go. So another noteworthy cipher that attackers commonly use is and what we'll focus on, is the XOR, or exclusive OR cipher. So this is a logical operator, and we've kind of talked a little bit before about and OR. And so this is kind of another one that kind of falls into that same type of logical operator bucket. It's a logical operator which results true when two values are different. One is true and one is false. So this is a very simple way of looking at that. So if A and B are 0, then the output is going to be 0, right? It's going to be false. If A is 0 and B is 1, then that's going to end up being 1 or true, because one is different from the other. And then same vice versa, if A is 1 and B is 0, then that's also going to end up being true as well. But if A is 1 and B is 1, since they both match, they aren't different, and then that's going to be false or 0. So we kind of talked a little bit about the basics of CyberChef and how it's used for obfuscation. And there's another tool that we're going to be using in this task they cover here, this OleDump, which helps us analyze OLE, or compound file binary format files. You can think of OLE files as a mini file system, or kind of like a zip archive. Applications such as Microsoft Office documents with extensions like doc or spreadsheets of the XLS or PowerPoints are known as OLE files. So malicious actors can abuse macros to hide malicious commands and scripts within these. So you'll click into the document and it'll open up, but it also will have a whole bunch of other data that's in what they call streams that isn't necessarily visible to you through the particular application that you're opening it up to. So we can kind of take a look at this. We'll do this here on the desktop here in a second. So you run the command OLEDump.py and then the document name that you want to run it against. And you'll kind of see that it opens up all these different streams. I think the M next to those signifies that it is a macro. Let's see, OLL files could contain storages which are basically folders that contain streams of data and other storages. The example below depicts what a typical Word document looks like under the hood, and the streams of data you'll normally see. Each stream has a name, and OleDump will conveniently index each stream by assigning it a number to easily select for analysis. And I kind of go through some of the different flags that we can use here. As I mentioned, the M letter next to the stream indicates that the stream contains a VBA macro. So let's see some of the stuff that we can do here. So you can do the capital S to dump the strings. Lowercase d does a raw dump of the stream content. Lowercase s, which is important, allows you to select the stream number that you want to analyze. So if we wanted to analyze, let's say, this one, stream 5, then we would, after this document.doc, we would then go the hyphen and lowercase s and then 5. Let's see what else is kind of important here. Grinch Enterprises left a malicious document on the machine, and you need to find it. The document contains a malicious, obfuscated base64 encoded script that also comes with a secret cipher ingredient, decimal 35. Find out what the evil script does and locate the 2 flags. So I think when they're talking about the secret cipher ingredient, we're looking at it using an XOR cipher with that and using the number 35 with that XOR cipher. So let's see, the decimal number 35 will be our XOR key. Yep. Let's build our recipe for CyberChef using the following ingredients: base64 and XOR. You might have noticed that the secret script looks odd because it's double encoded using base64. Let's choose base64. Okay. So we've already connected. We already have the Windows machine up. And let's go take a look at this file using OleDump. And I don't know if I can get this any bigger. Yeah, I don't know. Apologies if I can't actually get that to zoom in any bigger on that. Okay, so we are going to go OleDump.py. And you'll see that I'm running it from within the OleDump folder. Then we're going to go Santa Claus Naughty List. This is the document that we want. We can just take this and drop it over into the command prompt, so that way you don't have to worry about typing all that stuff out. And we can go ahead and run this. And you see that we got 17 different streams from this. And we got a whole bunch of ones that kind of have this Grinch Enterprise was here. So in a normal type of situation, I would assume that we actually would want to go through these and actually, investigate them. In the room, they actually kind of give us a hint and just tell us to look at stream 8, but we can kind of let's just look at all the ones that have Grinch in it. So I'm just going to up arrow and stream, and then what is that? We'll go with stream 6. And a whole bunch of hex. Let's try going the D for the decode, I believe. There we go. I believe that's what that -D was for. Oh, for dump, to perform a raw dump. Yep. Let's look at 7. So this is kind of interesting. You found a Grinch cookie. That might be useful later. We could take a note of that. But we know that we need to actually look at 8. So we have all of this kind of, there's still a little bit of mess with the way that's output. I think we could also use the capital S flag on that, which was to perform a strings dump. See if that gives us a better format. Yeah, that's a little bit easier to take and copy and paste. So Grinch Enterprise is coming for you. Uh-oh. So we're just going to copy and paste all this base64 stuff. And let's go back to CyberChef. And we'll get rid of that. So we were going to go from base64. And we were going to copy this over here. Oh, let's go. Okay. And so that kind of is a little bit of a weirder format. It doesn't necessarily look like what our original base 64 stuff was. And they said to then XOR that with the decimal 35. So let's look for that. Should be under logic. So we're going to XOR, drop that in over there. Now we want to change this from hex to decimal. Okay, and now that looks like it's back to regular base 64 stuff. Looks familiar again. So let's go and drag in another one into our recipe from base 64. And there we go. So it's like triple encoded. Base 64, then XOR'd with a key of 35, and then base 64'd again. So we got a bunch of stuff that we can kind of take here and see what this is. So this kind of looks like, for writing this awesome rat, so remote access Trojan. Interesting. So it looks like a script doing some stuff with email. SMTP client looking like it's going to port 587. Enable SSL. The username and passwords that were mentioned above. Santa's present delivery to Grinch Enterprise. Your presents will arrive. Subject Christmas wish list. Files, get child item, user profile. So I don't know, there's something there in the pictures that we might need to go look at and see what the questions have us doing. All right, what is a username, email address of Grinch Enterprises from the decoded script? So let's scroll back up to the top of this. GrinchEnterprises.2021@gmail.com. GrinchEnterprises.2021@gmail.com. Bam. What is the mailbox password you found? Password is, oh, I wish that I could copy that over. Okay, Santa with an @ Santa is with a $. Coming to with a 0. I hate the fact that we can't copy over from these Windows machines. And then town with another 0. There we go. What is the subject of the email? I think that was Christmas wish list or something like that. Christmas wish list. Yep, right here. Okay. What port is a script using to exfiltrate data to North? So we already kind of think I mentioned that. The SMTP that Google was using there was 587, I believe. Right here. Yep. What is the flag hidden in the document that the Grinch left behind? So I think we also already saw that kind of when we were looking through the streams. Let's take a look. I think it was 7. You found Grinch cookie. All right. And the last one, there's still a second flag somewhere. Can you find it on the machine? So I think that was possibly what we were looking at in the script. And it was talking about some files. There's pictures in Grinch 2021. Let's see if we can find that somewhere. Pictures, Grinch 2021. Oh, flag 2. Santa Claus is real. Great. Another one that I'm going to have to move over here. Okay, let's see. Santa C1A U $. $, capital I is real. I think is what that was. Lowercase l. Bam. All right, so that was it. That was doing some sweet magic with CyberChef, looking at a file that was an OLE file, had a whole bunch of different types of streams within that with different types of information. I know that there's other TryHackMe rooms that kind of cover data streams and stuff like that. I definitely remember seeing that in either the Pentest Plus path room or maybe the Cyber Defense, some of those learning paths as well, as far as finding data that's hidden in streams. That's actually a very common method. So yeah, covering that, looking at files that have been encoded a whole bunch of different times. Pretty sweet little room covering a bunch of stuff. So hope it was entertaining. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that good stuff. I'm actually going to be gone, not going to be able to film the rest of the last 3 days because I'm not going to be around my streaming stuff. So I'm just going to do those later after the fact, after the holidays, and then get those thrown back up here on the YouTube channel. So as always, appreciate everybody dropping in. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that other good stuff. And yeah, we'll talk soon. All right.